Hey, how you doing? We're going to make a pot roast today. This is a pot roast. It costs about $7. That's the sale price. What I'm going to do is take the pot roast out, and it doesn't matter really what kind, but this is a nice type. I think it's I like chuck. Yep, beef chuck. And I'll show you why. In a beef chuck roast, if you get a 7-bone roast, one that has the bone going through, there's even a better treat. There's a nice little steak in there. But let's just take part of this off here. We want to have a roast for at least 4 people. Okay? It's been sitting in the refrigerator for a day. So we need to have a roast that would be about this size, I think. Don't you think that's about good, honey? And that way you have, 1, 2, 3, 4. By the time that's cooked down and the fat's out of there. What I like to do with the rest of it, that's why you want to get one that's not fat, but you want to get one that has a little bit extra, is I'm going to trim off some of the big pieces of fat. Again, I'm using my cleaver. And get the meat down, because we're going to be able to take this and make several things. Maybe you like beef stroganoff, but to go and buy beef stroganoff meat is really very expensive. So if it's all cut, because you're paying a butcher to do what you can do very easily. So let me see, I'm just going to take that fat part off. Sometimes a little fat's good. The other thing you might like is fajitas. So let's take and cut, I'm going to sort of slice this so that they look like, so it looks like fajita meat. You see how that looks? That's nice, long, little skinny. Or maybe you like, what are the burritos called, honey, that you like so well? The ones that have...
Cocina.
Well, you see, we're not very good at this, are we? But anyway, so let's cut this like here. And this is for those of you that are carnivores. So we're going to cut several strips of this meat. The other thing is, it's awfully nice to do the any Asian dishes, Chinese or Vietnamese or whoever might want to use strips of meat and make a wonderful, which I'm going to do one day too. I've got to cut this part out. Let me think of what it is. What's it called? You can cut it off if you want, but let's see. Well, one of the things we're going to make from the pot roast is we're going to slice off some meat, so we have meat for fajitas or for beef stroganoff for a little German flavor. So you've got fajitas from the Mexican meal menu. We've got beef stroganoff from a German menu, and we can have stir-fried beef from the Asian menu. So from one pot roast like this, you can have all sorts of recipes. And they're all going to be good, and we're going to do different ones. But for today, and this is the way it'll be for you, just come home from the store, cook up your meat. I'm going to finish cutting these, and you'll have these nice strips like this. And I know there's many more recipes. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is, on a small baggie, you're going to write fajita. J-I-T-A. So that's for fajitas. So this would be enough to put, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to cut a little bit more. That's what I want to do today, but I will know that fajita means it could also be beef stroganoff.
Now, are you going to freeze that?
I can freeze that, or I can put it in the fridge for a couple of days. Thanks, honey. I need to make that clear. Remember, no meat or milk into your compost. And I'm going to take you out to the compost in another day. All right, so what we've got here, I like to trim it off a little bit more of some of this meat. Fat, but however, fat is what gives the flavor. We went to our very favorite pizza place that Ron's been going to since 1955 in San Francisco, where we grew up. And he was in high school when I guess it was a friend of his and his dad from Italy opened up a pizza place called the Villa Romano.
Yeah, back in the old neighborhood of 9th and Irving Street.
9th and Irving Street. Excellent place, excellent. Well, we went there earlier in the year, and we ordered our favorite mushroom and sausage pizza. Well, you know what happened? It wasn't quite the same. It was delicious. The crust was delicious. It's done in the brick oven and the whole thing. However, they can't use the regular fat sausage anymore. They're trying to cut down. And so the fat makes a difference in the way that tastes. I'm just wiping it down a little bit. The butcher probably touched it. My hands were clean. I hope his were. Okay. I want this to fit into my crock pot, or my pot. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some salt and pepper That's about all I like, except if we let Ron do this, you know what he's going to add?
Oh, I like to add a little garlic and maybe some Italian flavor. I sprinkle. I just look in the cabinet and see what I like, and I throw it in there.
So do I risk it or not? I like the garlic
It's
on there,
chancy.
and I like the salt and pepper. That's another thing that my aunt did for years. Is she married an Italian family into Italian? Well, she really married the family. When you marry into a culturally strong family, you become what their ethnic group is. She made absolutely the best spaghetti sauce, and she made it out of a pot roast like this, and yet she added these Italian seasonings, and she cooked that thing for several days until it was just falling off the bone, it didn't even have a bone, falling apart and shredded, and the sauce was rich and red, and oh, it was wonderful. So that's another thing you can do with this pot roast. What I like to call the pot roast is a Sunday pot roast. It used to be in the 40s and 50s that your mom or your grandma would start a pot roast in the morning. They'd go to church. When you came home, bringing people, of course. You always had visitors or newcomers or old friends come over for a Sunday dinner. And there was the pot roast was done, or the ham or the fried chicken, whatever was your favorite. My mother loved a pot roast. And then we would eat on the leftovers during the week. We're going to do that today, and we're going to show you how to get it started. I think that we're going to have Ron take over now because he's the one that likes to spice things up. So I'll take the camera, and we'll watch Ron do the salt and pepper and whatever. Yeah, wash the hands first. Now, doesn't that look like a nice roast? Right there. There's the roast. Nice looking roast. Okay,
well,
hon.
I think I'll better get some heat going on in that. First of all, I'm going to turn the heat on here.
We're going to use, I'll tell about this, we're going to use a cast iron skillet that's really deep. We used to use it for camping. We've used it for, it was my grandmother's, and this thing is wonderful.
Now we're just going to sear it.
Yeah, you're putting canola oil.
Canola oil, it's a little better for cooking. So
the differences in oils is because the temperature for them to get heated. They sear things and they taste differently, so it's good to check on your oils. And maybe one of these days we'll do an oil lesson.
Well, let's see. What do we have here? We have some
That's
more.
your granulated garlic.
Oh, a little garlic is the. Let's see.
And you measure this. I see it very.
Yeah, I may. It's amazing how forgiving. Oh, we got a little black pepper. You got to do that.
Well, I'm going to get the salt over here.
I'd like you to get that.
Can I throw that salt in there?
Yeah, just throw it in there. I'm gonna do something.
You only going to do one side?
Oh, we got a little. Oh, look at the mozzarella steak.
Oh, yeah,
That might be
mozzarella
interesting.
steak seasoning.
Oh,
Yeah, this is very good. It's the magic stuff.
okay.
All right.
Now I'm gonna flip that right into the pan.
Okay, you got that in there, huh?
Yeah, that's now I'll put a little more seasoning in there.
So you turn the seasoning side down, and now you're adding more of this Montreal steak seasoning.
Now I gotta go with garlic and pepper.
Garlic.
That's good.
Garlic is supposed to be very good for you, so with the amount you use on everything, it ought to be.
Oh, the pepper.
What about salt?
Yeah.
Go with the other side. Okay, you want to tell us about this? Talk a little.
Put a little salt. We don't use much, but I like to throw a little Italian seasoning in there.
Okay.
This gives it.
What?
Just a little touch. It surprises people. You know, they say, boy, that tastes good. I think it's about ready to flip over.
Do you think this is better than adding a package of onion soup mix?
Oh, this is much better. You make your own. Don't buy any mixes. Make your own. Play with it. It's fun. The garlic, the salt, the pepper. That's all. And just a little bit of Italian mix. Some of this mozzarella steak seasoning. Also, you know what we're doing now is we got it on a real high heat. We're going to sear.
Yeah. Now, what's the purpose in searing it? Do you know?
Well, we're searing it to hold the juices in, because we're going to cook this on a slow heat for several hours, and then break the meat down. But we're going to give it a hard seal.
I'm going to set that oven at 325, huh?
Yeah, later after
We're going to be gone all day.
After this is seared, we're going to throw some carrots and vegetables in here, and then put it in the oven at about what's a good? I go to like 225.
Oh, 225?
Yeah, for 8 hours, 6 hours. Yeah. Okay. We'll see you later.